evening, everybody. Good night. Or, no, good evening, I think is what you say when you say hello.
Talking Dirty
with Maestro.
Not just numbers,
Not just stats.
it's about what they mean.
Oops. Maestro.
We're gonna throw this into a movie. See, is that better for you?
Educate me. I'm going to send to you the information.
Talking Dirty.
Hello, and thank you for hanging out with your boy. Me. I want to get back to that run in Ventura. I'm still on that run from a lot of the players I saw that day, and don't worry, we'll get to some other runs too. Don't worry. We got a lot of runs to talk about. One player that stood out for me for all of the right reasons. My old heads know what I'm going to talk about. From great D to great hands, great choices, great presence. Brendan Romine showed a lot. At 6'9", a little over 200 pounds, he's at the upper edge of what I'd call my mid-big. Great interior defense. Not good, great interior defense. He turned every bad pass into a turnover. That means a steal. That means a what? A dirty stat. He also turned every bad shot choice into a block and a rebound. Dirty stat. That is something that you cannot put a price tag on. Why do I say that? Because with a player with that type of handle and those type of quicks, when it comes to being at the ball, they're willing to clean up the mess if something gets into the interior and a team can make money there. You can turn over possessions, you can keep possessions, you can turn the game into your favor, and that's what you want to see. My old heads have heard me say this all the time. Rebounding turns the game around. An offensive rebound gives my team another possession, takes a possession away from my opponent. A defensive rebound ends their possession, turns the possession into a positive possession for my team. Rebounds are where it starts when you want to be a good transition defense or offense. Rebounds are where it starts when you want to have a strong ball control and transition game. Every single time. If you do not turn those offensive possessions around with rebounds, and oh, by the way, Brendan Romine did that. You turn them into points. You give your team an opportunity to do what? Move forward with a positive play. There's definitely one thing I'd love to see him do. I love him to get smarter with his handle. There are a few times by moving the ball up the way he was moving the ball up, it was, I won't use the word sketchy. It was sketchy-ish. Now, again, being at the upper end of the mid-big scale, how often might you look for him to move with the ball? Well, in today's game, you all have taught me a lot. Positionless basketball, right? Who has the ball needs to move the ball. He was a good passer, very effective passer. If his handle gets stronger, particularly in transition, he becomes that much more of a weapon for his team to help them move forward and to help them turn those possessions into positive possessions. But his interior presence, bad passes into turnovers, bad shot choices into blocks, that's punishing people who decide to come in there namby-pamby in the paint. You make them pay so they don't do that anymore. And that's definitely what he did. You all know Maestro loves that. That's what I'm talking about. Play with violence, man. Make it work for you. Make it work for your teammate. Brendan, awesome job. Way to make that go down. Can't wait to see what you're going to do as everything moves forward. Thank you for listening to this half. You know what up.
Thank you for listening to Maestro. Want to get involved? Bring it.
Drop in discord.gg/SimWorldNBA.
If you have the brain, join as a coach. If you have the game,
join as a player.
see the game,
Be the game.
Now, back to Maestro.
Sorry. We'll be right back. Okay, we're back. And welcome to this half of Talking Dirty with your boy. Let's have a conversation about screens. What's an effective screen? One that allows your teammate the opportunity to get hopefully in the open or make it to the rim or get open for a shot. Notice I said allows your teammate the opportunity to. And if that's the way you think, let me learn you something. Setting a good screen is also good for you. Why? If I come up and I set a good screen and it impacts how the defensive players act, if both players get lost and I feel them both move toward the man that I've now screened for, guess who's open? Your boy. Me. And you have to be aware of that. If you're setting a screen for screen's sake because you know what your teammate is going to do, you know if they like to go to the left, you know if they like to go to the right, you want to give them the opportunity just to use you or not use you, that will determine where you go to set the screen. For instance, if I flash up from low post out to my guard and I know that my guard likes to go to their right, then I may or may not set up to the visible point of the left of my guy. Why did you just say that? Because you know what I might do? I might go and set up on the right-hand side, give my teammate an opportunity to flash step my way as if they're going to use me as a screen. The player leans into me, gravity works. Guess what? That's what my teammate can now do. Make the move to his right, straight on shot in, because why? That gives him that extra half a step that he needs to get past his man. You see, I did not have to physically impede the direction of the defensive player to make an effective screen. But that comes from knowing your teammate, knowing how they like to move, and talking about this stuff. Don't just wait for it to happen on the floor. If you set the screen the same way every time, guess what? You're now predictable. Guess what? I now know what to do every single time you set a screen because you do the same thing every single time. Don't do that. Work out your screens the way you work on your free throws. Let your teammate decide. If you give yourself up like a sacrifice bunt on a screen, make it work for your teammate. Give them the opportunity to use you the way they need to. And sometimes that might mean, okay, you know what? I need you to beat a wall. So I'll go up again. I flash up from low post. My man likes to go to his right. I set up to the left of his defender. Then he just runs right past me. I've now solid screen his guy. If my man does or does not rotate, it doesn't matter. My guy's got the screen he wanted. He decides, you know what? I can take this guy to the right. I just need the extra step. I go up. I then get on the right side of my player. Remember, they're facing each other. So on the right side of the defensive player is the left side of my teammate. He can then, or she can then, flash step or jab step as if they're going to use me as a screen. Like I talked about earlier, Player comes into me, goes the other way, has the leverage he needs once he sees the weight move. And that's the other thing. When you know you have a defender that is flat footed, that is not playing against the balance of their game, let them get their weight off. That's the point of those jab steps. That's the point of those side steps. That's the point of all of that. You want to get their weight rocking in one way so you can go the other way quicker. And if you spend your time dribbling between your legs, behind your back, over your head, doing a breakdance move in one spot, guess what? You're just killing time. And you're not giving your chance a team to really use what you're able to do. So set an effective screen by being what you need to be for the person you are screening for. You will win every time. You don't believe me? Watch the way the Spurs ran the pick and roll between David Robinson and Tim Duncan and blah, 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 all those years and all those championships. Simple, fundamental basketball that gets you rings every time. Yes, all that other stuff is nice. But man, isn't it nice to have rings up on the counter? Just throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there. That's all I'm saying. And speaking of which, all I'm saying is thank you for checking out this episode of Talk Dirty with Maestro. I always appreciate what you say. Let me know what you think about that. Let me know what else you want to hear about. Let us know what else you want to hear us go down and around about so we can have some more fun. Remember, this is our podcast. So let's make it happen. And, oh, by the way, if you're going to fry a moon pie, do it in a skillet.
Like I need to talk to somebody.
Thank you for listening to Maestro.
Thank you again for checking out Maestro. Drop a tag below and give us a piece of your mind. See you next time.
Well, thank you for your time. Have a wonderful day.